Thank you everyone and good afternoon. So I'll be presenting this HUDSON trial data. It was a open label multi-drug umbrella phase 2 study which was published and presented in WCLC 2022. And in this trial, the patients with advanced NSCLC, those who progressed on PDL1, this immunotherapy combination drug, the combination of several drugs has been tried and efficacy was noted. So if you see the background that patient on immunotherapy in combination with chemotherapy, so there are several mechanisms of resistance. And if patient has progressed on this combination, there is no standard of care. For those patients who has progressed despite using platinum-based chemotherapy and immunotherapy. So HUDSON trial is an ongoing trial, it's a phase 2 trial, and it is evaluating several treatment options for patients with biomarker matched and non-matched, locally advanced or metastatic NSCLC, and those who have progressed on chemotherapy along with immunotherapy. So the analysis was for the 4 combinations: durvalumab along with ATR inhibitor, that was CRSF. Second was danvartiricin and olaparib, and another was oleclumab. So this was the study design: locally advanced metastatic NSCLC, and those who progressed on platinum-based chemotherapy along with immunotherapy were randomized to group A, and group A was biomarker matched group, and group B was biomarker non-matched group. So there were several treatment combinations, but the analysis was done for 4 combinations, which I have already explained. Primary endpoint of this study was overall response rate, and secondary endpoint was disease control rate, progression-free survival, and overall survival and safety data. So when we see the baseline characteristic of the groups, the group A and group B, so you can see it is well matched. Median age of all the groups almost 63 to 65 years. And when we see the efficacy data of the groups A along with B, and overall response rate was the primary endpoint, and you can see that the durvalumab along with ceralasertib, the response rate was 16.7%, while other combination had a response rate of less than 5% only. And if you see the 12-week disease control rate was 60% in comparison to less than 30% in other groups. So because of low response rate in other groups, less than 5%, olaparib, this danvartiricin and oleclumab groups, these regimens were pooled as interim controlled only. So coming to the secondary endpoints, progression-free survival, median progression-free survival was again better in this ceralasertib arm, and it was 6 months, while in other arms it was less than 3 months only. Regarding overall survival, which was again a secondary endpoint, you can see that again there was significant benefit in overall survival in this ceralasertib arm, which was almost 16 months median overall survival, while it was less than 10 months in other groups. When we see efficacy of this combination, that is durvalumab plus ceralasertib, the response rate in biomarker matched group, the response rate was quite higher, and it was almost 30%, while in primary resistant group it was 15%, while in acquired resistant it was 8% only. Median PFS was better in biomarker matched group in comparison to biomarker non-matched group. You can see that median OS was 22.8 months, which is quite impressive, but the data is still accruing because the trial is ongoing and they are also enrolling patients in this cohort, durvalumab and ceralasertib. So again, but till the data is available, the median OS is around 22.8 months. Regarding safety, efficacy, adverse events. So the treatment-related adverse events were more common in olaparib group, followed by this ceralasertib arm, and grade 3 and more adverse events were seen more in olaparib group, followed by again this ceralasertib arm. And the treatment which resulted in death was seen in 2 patients in ceralasertib group. So it was okay and is tolerable. The most common adverse event was nausea and vomiting in this group, followed by anemia, fatigue, and diarrhea. So to conclude that this umbrella study has evaluated several combinations of drug along with durvalumab, but this selerasertib along with durvalumab showed promising activity in both biomarker matched, that is ATM positive, and non-matched patient in advanced NSCLC, those who failed on chemotherapy along with immunotherapy. Overall response rate was almost 17% in comparison to less than 5% in other combination. Median OS was 22.8 months in biomarker matched population, and in primary resistance it was 12 months versus 19 months in acquired resistance. So all four reported regimens seem to be tolerable safety profile according to investigators, and as I already told that this trial is ongoing and they are enrolling patients in that cohort selerasertib along with durvalumab. So that was my last slide. Thank you so much.